Oh, go up just as it says I'm going live. Thank you. Smells like our house.
Unsurprisingly. The house smell is really condensed by the door.
Okay, hopefully that's enough of a lag in the videos. Hit the ground running. It's a yucky day out there today, Fredericton, and it's warming up. Hi, this is not your local news and weather report. This is Andrea coming to you from the Quilting Shed in Fredericton, New Brunswick. And I'm not wearing my shop shirt today. I am wearing the Quilts of Valor official combat quilter t-shirt. Thank you to my local rep for getting me one of these. We do help out with Quilts of Valor a lot, partly by promoting it, by being a drop-off point, by lending a hand where we can. Somebody's phoning me and they're going to have to wait.
Just watch the live and ask in the comments.
Okay, there we go. Everybody just ignore that for a minute. This is what happens when you do a live. So yeah, so there's a lot of things coming. Some things have not arrived yet. It is the first of the month, the first Wednesday of the month, but I do have a list. This is your agenda for March here. So I feel like I'm chairing a meeting. It's the meeting of Fabric Nerds Anonymous. So Grandmothers for Grandmothers, over in Shediac, Moncton area, they have a Grandmothers for Grandmothers sale in April, May, somewhere in there, probably April. Like I've done previously, you can drop off your donations here for Grandmothers for Grandmothers. You can drop them off here to March 31st. I have somebody who's going to pick them up and take them all the way over to Moncton. Somebody had mentioned there was one recently here in Fredericton, but I don't know what happened with, I don't know. I think they already had the sale or whatever, but I don't know how associated they are with this. I just got contacted about this one. So if you do have fabric, sewing notions, yarn, those kind of things, we will get you more details later if you don't know what that's about. The other thing I've seen floating around is the NB Unity quilt. Somebody is contacting all the guilds. You may have seen it already about making a New Brunswick Unity quilt that will be donated to the New Brunswick Museum. So each guild can like make a block or something. We'll send along more details about that. Or if you know more, please leave a link in the comments. Whew. Now, you want to know what I was up to? So sometimes when it's really, really busy and it gets really, really stressful, that's the time where I'm like, oh no, I have to take a breath. But things have actually been calming down quite a bit, which is very, very good, relatively speaking. Oh, ow, I just hurt my nose. So one of the things I try to do when I get here in the morning is instead of, let's tackle my to-do list and see if we can get ahead, because that to-do list is never ending. So I've tried to take at least 15 minutes to go try and sew something a little bit, do something fun. Did a new window display yesterday. It's totally wrecked today because gravity. Didn't work out the way I wanted. So I guess today I'm fixing it. Speaking of to-do lists. So anyway, so I've been sewing a bit and I took work home on the weekend. I got the binding inside this one. So this is the Easy Does It bag pattern from By Annie. And this is in some of the new Tulip Pink fabric that is coming in April. I almost said October. I almost said, yeah. So it's very cute. So this is the By Annie bag is actually a free download. And at one point I did have handouts, but I'm not sure where they went. I've been trying to get more. Shops can order printed copies in bulk, like packages of 25. So I have some for some things, but not for others. But again, you can just sign up on the By Annie website and get your own copy. They even have videos. But look how cute that is. And I did use the Soft and Stable. Look how nice and firm a bag that is. Highly recommended. Soft and Stable or the Flex Foam or the Bosal Foam. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You get the same firmness. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that cute? So I finished that. And I didn't use a fancy zipper because this is my zipper from my stash, which is very, very huge. Last week I showed you the threads pre-cuts from Sweetwater. This week I'm showing you some cute things I made because they have the we did get a bolt of the label fabric because I thought that was really, really fun and cute. And what can we make out of it? These are some of the things I've made. Again, the Petit Four little box from By Annie. I always have trouble with the lining, so she did that for the lining. Also with the foam. So this is cute little catch-all box for whatever. You know, I like to like throw things in a spot on my desk, so I do this for my husband too. If he's always putting something, you know, like on the corner of a desk, I'll just put a basket there so you can just throw it in the basket. Works for me too. I did notice by my sewing machine there wasn't, I just kept throwing like pins and my tools everywhere. So I have to make another one of these for my sewing table here in the shop, in the work area, in the classroom. I also did, and you'll note I did not hand stitch these closed yet. I'm just going to hold them. Little pin cushions. Taking some of the elements, like look, you pick out a nice saying, you just do whatever around it. I think those were 2-inch strips. Don't stress about it. Just it's a pin cushion. It's not, doesn't have to be a particular size. This one, I just took one strip, however, yay big. Like, I don't think you need a pattern for these, but they are adorable. And I put the pins in them so you could see, like, yes, they're pin cushions. Because people are like, well, what are these? They're pin cushions. See, they've got pins in them. Look at how cute that is. And the pink and the red together is so cute. And the little labels. And another thing that I am making with those little labels is a mini quilt. But here, ta-da! So this big piece of fabric, I cracked open one of the layer cakes so I would have extra fabrics to play with. Like, you know, from here. And from here, these came from a layer cake. You could also have a charm pack and make pin cushions and smaller things, however you like. This was a layer cake. It's just one of the black fabrics, and it just keeps saying handmade, handmade, handmade in the background. You could use anything in the background for this. But I cut apart each of the little elements. I spread them around how I wanted. I can see one has fallen off. I did glue them. So I've got one missing. Oh no, I've got one missing. Pro tip, take a picture of what you're working on at different stages, so in case things get moved, you know at least what you were attempting. So I'm going to just stitch around each one of these squares, you know, and just go over the end a couple times.
And what is that technique called?
And that technique is called raw edge applique. See, fancy term, very easy. We're just going to stitch around it. It's just any old batting and just some plain fabric for the back because it's going on the wall up here. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. And good morning, Susan. Susan's saving my life this week, leaving food in the fridge for me so I have lunch. Susan B. Susan in the comments. She's the famous Susan that you hear me talking about. The other thing I'm working on is the couch cushion. The companion couch has a cushion that came with it, or two. And we like to swap out the cushion covers seasonally to highlight some fabric that we have here in the shop. Because if you get tired of making quilts, make pillow covers. I usually say make runners, make pillow covers, you know, but there's only so much you can make, so just spread it around a little. So these blocks, ta-da, this is the sugar maple from Ruby Star, and this was the panel that we had. I don't think we have anymore. So
No,
we still have, oh, we do still have one. Sorry, we had 2 bolts, and I know I sold one, so this will just be like a 9 patch.
Yeah, we have.
I have them all.
Have any.
Oh God, we have tons of these. We have tons of these. You can make a whole quilt like this with like bigger borders. It would be amazing. Ta-da! I'm just going to make a cushion cover so you can see where I'm going with that. So that's what I've been working on. I don't know if I will quilt it. Sometimes I don't quilt things. Like I was going to show you this runner, but it's literally up on the wall. I got the idea on Friday because one of our customers bought this really cute fabric from the Barista line. It's got the vintage kettles on it. And I made this very easy runner that we have a pattern for. It's like 5 whole bucks. And didn't quilt it and just backed it. You know, where you sew around it right sides together. And there, thank you. My assistant has brought me, I made a runner with this. See?
I put it right side up for you on the face without the phone.
There we go. See? There. Isn't that gorgeous? Darcy says, look at me. I logged right in. You came right up. Good morning, Darcy. I haven't seen you in ages. Other than online. So yeah, I made a runner out of that. That was fun. I did that Friday and Saturday. Just sometimes life just get a little stressful. Just back away from like social media and everything and just go sew for 15 minutes. Even if you just go in your sewing room, pet your fabric. So,
Dream, as I like to call it.
or what?
Or dream.
Dream. Go dream. Go dream about your stuff. Oh, there we go. It did that. Did that. Did that. Okay. I got my list. My list is back. The other thing I got this in the mail. The North Star Quilt Guild is having a quilt show. And we got a lot of notice here. It's May 30th, 31st, and June 1st. That is a Friday through Sunday. Big show. This is up in Bathurst. Bathurst. Bonjour, Bathurst. North Star Quilt Show. Woo! There you go. You will see this going around the interwebs and Facebook and everywhere. So go up north, have a look at the quilt show up there. Vendors, quilt raffle, refreshments. I love how it's bilingual. Kids under 12 are free. Ooh.
Good opportunity to bring the grandkids.
Yeah, bring the grandkids out. Have a nice little drive. That time of year is probably really nice. It's going to be a really nice weekend. I know I can't predict the weather that far in advance, but let's just say that time of year is pretty nice. I mean, come on, it's the end of May, 1st of June. Is that a lot? That might be a long weekend. I can't remember. Big, fat, fluffy snow is falling down, and I'm not sure I like it. It is going to warm up.
Globe out there.
It's like a snow globe out there, yeah. So what else do we have? Grab an invoice here. I do have some other boring things. I probably don't need to show you bolts of stabilizer. But I was out of a few dozen things in the stabilizer category. The throw size batting and the double bed size batting, those are all back in stock. I love it when you have good relations with your suppliers. So the bagged batting that I get, the supplier gets it in a big box, and there's X amount in a box per size. The boxes are all the same size, and it's however many of that size. So I said, yeah, get me a box of throw size bats. And she said, well, they come in a box of 14, but you're getting 12. I'm like, okay. Thanks, I guess. The other thing we have, and I don't have it right here and it's fine, is it's called Insul Film. It's the very light, it looks like aluminum foil without the batting. So if you've ever made oven mitts and you want the Insul fleece, it's like that, but without the fleece part. So you can put that in something. It works like an emergency thermal blanket. So you can put that under things as a nice protective layer if you don't want the lofty fleecy part, or you want to not use the polyester, which is what the fleece on the other stuff is made from. Maybe you prefer to put cotton in it. Maybe you want to use it for something else. But I have that, and we've had it before. So, ta-ta-ta. I also got in some extra firm stabilizer. This is firm. It's like, it feels like cereal cardboard. That's how firm it is. You can use it for the bottom of your bag. People have been asking about the acrylic bases from By Annie, for the acrylic bases for the bag. If you think the acrylic is too pricey, or you don't want to put plastic in there for some reason, or you don't want it that hard, then something like this would work as well. It's also called Peltex sometimes. I also got Peltex, yeah.
I'm opening it for you.
And I do have some Fuse and Tear, Stitch and Tear Light, other Stitch and Tear.
There you go.
Oh yeah, look at this. Like, look at that. You can hear that. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Actually, if you didn't want like a foam little thing like this, if you didn't want it foam, if you wanted it like, I want it really thin and more like cardboard, but I still want to cover it in fabric, you could do this. That's giving me an idea, but I don't need any more ideas. Please take it before I sew something else.
Oh, that would be so terrible.
That would be terrible. And I have the Bamboo Blend batting back in stock. I do have a 8-meter bolt of it. I can sell it by the meter. The bamboo I find is really, really nice and drapes very nicely. I don't have a price in front of me. I just have the price I paid. Woo! But yeah, I do like to use the Bamboo Blend. It's like a 50-50 bamboo. 50 bamboo, 50 cotton. It drapes nicer than the 80-20. So if you know, for example, you wanted to make a bed quilt and you wanted to have it extra soft and drapey, this would be really good. Or my personal favorite, you know you're going to quilt it custom and lots of quilting detail, but you still want that drape and you're like, I don't want it to be stiff, then I would try something like a bamboo batting, because it's not always how dense your quilting is that makes it stiff. Sometimes it's the batting that you use with it, depending. So there's that. And I am working on scheduling more classes, and the next class we are throwing on the schedule. I did do a draft of things. These are on draft, but apparently ready to go. If you were in the shop and you're like, why isn't Snowy working today? Snowy was home working on the computer. And the next up is a computer class.
A scarf class.
A scarf class, a computer class, a crochet class. Sorry, I fumbled that. Next up, we are hosting a crochet class. Could you remind me of the date, please?
It is March 18th, a Tuesday.
March 18th. This will be a Tuesday during the whole day?
Yes.
The whole day. So bring your lunch. We will, this is not multiple skeins of yarn if you've never crocheted. This is one skein of yarn. So you're going to learn a nice shell stitch and stitch a lovely scarf and hang out with knowledgeable, fun people.
I promise it's very easy.
It's very easy. I love doing the shell stitch. I should probably bring my, this is gorgeous. I remember we bought this yarn.
So they get the yarn, they get a hook, and they get a printed pattern.
Ooh. So if you register for the class, link will be provided. Totally will be in the newsletter. You get the yarn, the hook, and a printed pattern specifically made by us. Kind of excited about this. This is a new, specifically made by Snowy. I had nothing to do with this other than said, yeah, please do a crochet class. The rest just happens. Jazz hands. Oh,
I'm very excited.
I need this as a clip. So speaking of which, we do have some Knit Picks Zing crochet hooks. These are multiple prices, did you say?
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're working on the pricing on these, but we have 5, oh, wait a sec, 375, 5.5, 5.0, 4.5, 4.0. I love these. I love these. These are great. They are metal. They don't have the ergonomic handles, but they don't feel cheap.
Yeah,
They
those
feel
are
nice in
small.
your hand. They feel nice in your hand. The yarn slides over them really good. This one here, the 5.0, it's a common size. You're going to use it for everything. I have like 4 crochet hooks in this size. And they're all stuck in various projects, which I really should probably get back to. So there's that. Yesterday, our favorite delivery guy, Mikey, showed up. Love him. And he goes, I got to tell you, I'm so sorry. I'm like, what? He goes, this box is barely holding together. I'm like, oh no. But it was a box of 5 bolts of wide backs. And as soon as I cut the straps off of it, the cardboard just went, it was like a cartoon. It just went, it's funny. But anyway, so 5 new wide backs are in the shop. They are from Northcott. They are from their Midas line. I did not get the Midas bolts because once I looked at this, I'm like, nah, this is a big scale print. This is fantastic for the back of your quilts. And one of the things I wanted to do in redoing stuff was, somebody just asked the question. The crochet class is not on the website yet.
It will be later today.
It will be later today. It's ready to go. We just didn't have time to like do the final cleaning up and push it so it was ready for right now. So it's coming. So yeah, wide backs. We've got 5 of them. Midas from Northcott. Super happy. I think these are going to be 28. I think.
I haven't looked at the invoice.
Yeah. Can't wait to see the wide backs. Well, just hang on, Diane. Jeez.
You're gonna have to wait.
You're going to have to wait. So I'll start with the boring colors. Oh, this one is a lovely gray. I know I still have
With tints of blue.
with the it's like got a blue in it, like a blue gray. But if you see these the golden tints in here, that's actually metallic. So it does have bits of metallic running through it. It's really, really nice. And then we have the darker gray. And I know it's kind of crappy with the bag on it.
So what is the significance of filling in those cracks with gold?
What's the significance of filling in the cracks with gold? Well, this one is trying to look like the gold is running through the marble. But if you've ever seen like the Japanese pottery style with the name I can't pronounce, where they mend things visibly and sometimes they will use gold on the joins, that is to show that maybe something after it's broken and it's fixed again can be even stronger, and that you can find joy in these things that have happened. It is pretty. Darcy says she sees sky. Yes. Like you could get like a little bit and really run with some of the selections because the print is so big. And it would be like buying 5 or 6 bits of related prints, but all in one piece. So I'm going to take the plastic off of this one. There is a blue and a green and a multicolor one, and honestly, this is what sold me. Diane in the comments is a long armor, so she's very picky about her wide backs, and she's just going to want one of everything. I have scissors. I have scissors. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Am I going to get... Can't do more than 30 seconds of that, or somebody's going to file a complaint.
I was gonna say copyright.
Unauthorized music usage there. Yeah. Okay. Holy crap. I'm getting the... Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I haven't even gotten to the prettiest one yet. So this is the blue Midas wide back. Oh, geez. Like, look. It is showing up a little purple on my screen, but yeah, you have to see these in person. It's insane. It's extremely rich, deep blue violet. Like there's a little bit of purple running in here. These are
Lapis lazuli.
lapis lazuli, yeah, kind of, but really deep sapphire blues in here. Like, with the gold running through it. And then, you thought that was nice. Oh, there's the green. Yeah, there's the green. And, oh my God, I have to show you this. These are heavy. Like, no wonder the box broke. Holy jeez. I think the box weighed more than my delivery guy. It's this little dude. Ugh. Like, look at this. This is nuts. It's so gorgeous what they're doing with fabric these days. Look at. Oh, look at that. This is fantastic. And I'm saving the best for last because this is my personal favorite because we all know we're in my purple era. Yes, but it's not just purple. Ugh. It is purple and teal. Purple and teal and that magenta color that I super love and bits of blues. I think this is probably the one that sold me on this. Dun, 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 dun. Whew. Ugh. Getting my workout today. Holy lifting. Oh, Yvette, look at that. Look at the gorgeousness that is this wide back. Oh my good Lord, look at it. Look, with the gold in there. That's really nice. This one seems slightly less metallic. It looks metallic. And yeah, wow. Wow is in the comments. Wow, indeed. Can you see this on your quilt back? I'm like, it's almost too nice. Oh, and it's under 30 a meter. Can't believe it. It's nice. Oh my God, it feels good. Oh. It's got a little hand truck behind me because ain't nobody dragging those by hand. Whew. Tea break. Mmm. Mmm. Diane says those are a need to have, not a want. That's a need.
Oh, those are gorgeous. I'm just coming over.
They aren't on the website yet. I promise they will be soon. We usually our deadline for everything is like Friday, so we can show it in the newsletter. Aren't they nice?
They have such rich color.
Very rich color. Like if they don't look very bright on your screen right now, trust me, it's just your screen and the lighting and the day outside, because in person, like, yeah, I can't even tell you how nice these are. The other thing that showed up was a bunch of feet. If you have a FAF, I probably have a foot you were looking for, especially like the 1/4-inch feet. I ordered a butt ton of those, and I also ordered the 1/4-inch piecing foot for Singer. I do have access to Singer feet. So there's that. So we've got to get that in inventory because that just came. This one came last week, but I didn't show you. If you are working on stained glass window kind of quilts, we have the quick bias, fusible bias tape. Ta-da! This is how they get those little black lines in between the colors. It's a bias tape. It's sticky on one side that you iron down and make those nice lines across your design. So these are back in stock. They are up to $30.50. So speaking of these sorts of things, you might see some prices start to go up. Some prices have already started to go up, and maybe you haven't noticed it yet. Some of it's not related to tariffs and things. I looked over the tariff lists last night for the things that are coming from the U.S. into Canada. Those things are tariffed by Canada, by us, and we are doing it in retaliation to the American tariffs, where the Canadian goods are being tariffed going into the States. Nothing really fabric shop related is on the list except for maybe some needlework kits. That was the only thing I saw. Me and Danielle, who owns Chloe's Quilting Cafe, we've both poured over the lists and the import codes and everything. So lots of garments are on the list for tariffs, lots of groceries, lots of things that most people, you know, where it would hurt the most. But quilt shops, a lot of stuff that's coming in here isn't. The other good news is I don't get hardly anything from the United States directly. Note, I said directly. I place my orders with Canadian distributors. The stuff comes into Canada, sometimes from the States, but that's their problem to deal with, not mine directly. I'll talk about that in a minute. And most of the fabric, almost all of the fabric, everything in my shop except for the Free Spirit and A.E. Nathan fabric. So a little bit of some of the kids flannel that I have, the Tula Pink, the Cafe Facet, and I have a couple of bolts of Tim Holtz. Those ones I've ordered from the U.S. directly, like back in the fall, and then they come across the border. And the Glide thread. So that's literally the only thing I have in the shop that I buy directly through the U.S. Anything else that comes from the U.S. is going to my distributors first, and almost all of those things are notions. Any of the fabrics, they are coming to my distributors directly from overseas. I have a lot of Northcott fabric that comes directly into Canada. Northcott is Canadian. None of this fabric is manufactured in Canada. It just isn't. Not anymore. We got rid of that ages ago because it was cheaper to do it overseas. And hardly any fabric is manufactured in the U.S. Yes, they grow cotton down there still, but they ship it overseas to fabric mills in Asia. So all of this is coming in from overseas on shipping containers directly into Canada and then to me, your local quilt shop. So speaking of, you know how I said I just got in Raspberry Summer from Sherry and Chelsea from Moda? I got an email last night. I got another fabric delivery of pre-orders. Do you know what's coming? I'm super excited. But I only ordered half the collection, so thank God I just ordered more bookshelves to put them on. Sacre Bleu from French General. I know. It's on the way. Didn't look at the tracking, so I don't know. It was like next week. I will show you it next week. But French General, I'm mostly a modern person. You can see it in my shop. It's more modern now than it's ever been. But French General is that lovely, like French country, English country, big, lush patterns, like really traditional. I love it. And it's
Mask and paisley.
yeah, the mask and paisleys and toiles, and not really, it's traditional, but it's not in the primitive sort of Kansas Troubles lines. It's fresher. I find it fresher and more updated. Like if you were in someone's English country home having a sip of tea in the parlor, waiting for the detective to show up to figure out why the Duke has been murdered.
So it's more of a European
Yeah, it's
traditional as
more
opposed
of
to a North
American. Yeah, it's more of a European traditional. So Sacre Bleu, French General. I am like absolutely mangling the pronunciation there because it's 9:30 in the morning and I really need more tea. Mm. So before I go, I know I didn't have like a ton to show you. There's just a lot going on and there's stuff on the way. Also expected to land today. I have some notions that I've restocked. We try to get into the habit of, it's the end of the month. What are we out of? Let's put in orders to our suppliers. Hope to God they meet the minimum and submit them. Sometimes it takes a while to hit the minimum. Sometimes it takes a while to be able to just get to the laptop to submit the order. For those who think I work too much, I don't tend to work very often past, say, 6 o'clock, if I do at all. Usually by the time I get home, it might be 4:30, and I'm done for the day. I'm tired. I sit in my recliner to recover from being on my feet. And as my husband says, that's the end of that. So I told you about the crochet class that's coming up that we will have on the website shortly. As I schedule the next round of classes, which I did write all down in my planner. I just have to put them online and stuff. You guys want more classes. You want them more often. One of the things I've also been doing in the background is sewing some clothing. This is also, I'm seeing an increase in clothing type and garment type, really easy thing, classes. So a couple of demos I have in the back of my mind for potential classes and samples around the shop. I showed you a bolt of linen that we have. We have patterns for work aprons, which would work up really nicely in this linen. I have some free patterns I found for some simple clothing, and then I realized the fabrics like the Tula Pink and the Cafe, and even the Art Gallery fabric, which we've started to get in just in the fat quarters. Those are drapier, softer cotton, which lends itself well to garments. So I'm working on a few possible garments out of that and maybe possible classes. And also, as my friend Pam reminded me, Pam / distant cousin, it's New Brunswick. She's from the same area as where my husband grew up. So yeah, I think they're cousins. Bucket hats. It doesn't look like we could use a bucket hat today, but I've got a pattern printed off and some fabric set aside to make a bucket hat. So maybe we could do a bucket hat class. That would be fun, especially since I am well stocked up on my interfacing and you need some good interfacing for your bucket hat. So let me know what you think about those kind of sewing classes. I also,
have the eyelets.
yeah, we also have the eyelets, so you can put them in your hat. The little round circle eyelets or grommets or whatever you want to call them, so that you can have holes in your hat so your head doesn't get too sweaty. And I was also thinking somebody else might have to demo the hat because I look like an ogre in hats.
You look cute.
No, I don't look cute in hats.
Yes, you do.
I look terrible in hats.
Your opinion.
But we can make hats because the other thing, like the sample that I'm making for a bucket hat is in some of the Canadian road trip fabric, because I'm thinking by the time Canada Day rolls around, we have taken back our flag. It means something these days. We are all about Canada first, elbows up. all that stuff. Like, if you didn't know I was for flaming human rights by now, like, you haven't, yeah. I am. Yeah, I'm one of those people. Um, Still looking at my list here. Losing my space. So classes. The other thing that I always get stumped on is what day of the week can we have, like, classes through the day. So we have Finish It Up Fridays. We used to have classes on Thursday nights at the old location. I had been reluctant to do some on Thursday nights, but now that the time change is next weekend, this weekend coming up, that might come back. And I am also looking at Tuesdays during the day to have a class because that fits well in our own schedules for how the shop flows through the week. So let me know how Tuesdays through the days, Thursday nights, those kind of things work out for you because there's only so many weekends. There's only so many weekends, and I don't want to schedule too many classes in a month on Sundays. Right now, we have the sneaker class that takes up 2 days, and I tend to do those on Saturdays and Sundays. So that's one Sunday out of the month where I'm working. And we're heading into birthday and anniversary season in my household, so I want to keep some time free for family time. I know. Weirdly enough, I like my family and hanging out with them and spending time, and who knows, maybe me and the grandkids might do some sewing videos. Speaking of clothing, that's also on the list for future plans, and I haven't done a tutorial video in a while either. So that's what I've got going on. I keep looking at my piece of paper as if it's going to tell me the time. And I'm wrapping it up here. We've got a bunch of stuff. Da, da, da. Okay. We have a bunch of stuff on the go, and let me know what you think. Let me know what classes you want to see on the schedule, because people tell me and then I don't necessarily write it all down. Lee says we're a temptress. Lee says in the comments, says we're a temptress. I am. Tempting you with all the good fabric.
I was gonna say, Dad would say that too.
Dad would say that too. So our anniversary's coming up, so we're just going to be mushy for the rest of the month. I'm just warning you now. That's all I'm saying. Also,
35 years.
35 years, me and the husband. He's survived cancer. I've survived cancer. My God. Whew. I know. We just want to like coast for the next at least 5, maybe 10. He said he'd be happy with 5. I'm like, no, let's shoot for 10. Let's go for 10. Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought, and April's our birthday month. So with that, we're going to go clean up the shop, and I am going to answer all the messages that have come in on my phone while I did this video and take care of what didn't get done yesterday. So I will see you later. You just keep on sipping your hot beverage, wait until the snow clears, and then you can descend upon us. Probably around lunchtime, I'm betting.
Yeah.
The shop times, it's between 11 and 2. It's just like flat out busy. It's excellent. It's awesome. Notice the uptick in people supporting Canadian and more people placing mail orders and coming into the shop, more new customers. Super, super appreciated. Love you all, fabric nerds. Okay, I'll see you later. Okay, bye. 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 It's the maritime bye. I can't do the Irish goodbye, though. We'll explain that another time. Bye.